Hey guys, those people who've been watching the renovating the Japanese farmhouse videos will remember this building from behind the farmhouse. There's this separate building that it'd probably be quite useful for guest rooms or something similar, but nobody's actually been in here for probably at least 10, 15 years, and most of the stuff that's been in here has been in here for about 40 years and pretty much untouched. So some of the rest of the farmhouse was sort of like time travel, going back 60 years or 70 years or 100 years. This particular building was more like going back to the 70s. So it was really amazing because there was lots and lots of stuff from the 70s. So at this stage we'd already removed stuff that was obviously rubbish. So paper and cardboard and plastic and lots of stuff like that was lying around. And in amongst it we found stuff like this. That's a newspaper reporting Brezhnev and Nixon talking about the nuclear or the nuclear agreement that they'd made to avoid nuclear war from 1973. So that newspaper was from 1973. So some pretty funny stuff in here. Have a look at this. It's a board game. Have a look at that the guy's haircut. First of all, look at his haircut, and then look at the way he's looking at that girl. Disturbing, isn't it? When we finish playing this board game, I've got plans for you. It's a creepy thing. Oh, just some random stuff here, guys, that we found in amongst the rubbish, pansy fashion. It's just amazing. Like the rest of the house, it was an interesting mix of rubbish and interesting stuff. There's a boomerang with a Japanese emperor's seal on it, which is baffling, but anyway. So yeah, like a 70s time capsule it was. This little box, Batman box. This thing in it, I'm not really sure what it is. It looks like a pencil holder or a drink holder or something. Something maybe in the 70s you'd put on your desk with pencils in it or something. I don't know, but it's an old Batman thing from the 70s. Probably a collector's item for all I know. Strange, isn't it? Oh yeah, here's some random stuff. A new mirror. Now you'll remember from the rest of the house there's always lots of new stuff in boxes. So here was a new mirror still in its box. And you'll remember from the rest of the house there was never just one of anything. So there's another new mirror that was still in its box, unused. But wait, there's more. Here's a third new mirror that was still in its box. Baffling, isn't it? Random boat. So yeah, this place didn't need so much physical renovation as some of the rest of the buildings did. It was more cleaning and tidying and getting rid of lots of this stuff, sorting through all the rubbish and finding what was rubbish, what wasn't. Getter. Some wooden getter. You haven't lived till you've tried walking quickly in those. Oh, 45s. 45 RPM records. You have to be pretty old like me to remember them. Oh, here's a thing too. Sega games. So from one of the first games before Wii and before Nintendo and before all the other game machines, there was Sega Mega Drive. And there's the cartridges. These are the game cartridges. So again, if you're old like me, you might remember these. That was Dragon Ball, that one. There's Mario. So yeah, if you're old like me, you might remember these cartridges. You plug them into the game. Actually have the game too. We've got the machine, the playing machine. So some people might recognise these. A little bit nostalgic. So again, 70s, 70s time capsule, this place. So structurally it wasn't too bad, but in this cupboard we found there'd been some water leaking in through the roof, and it hadn't leaked recently. It was dry, so it hadn't leaked recently. We'd had rain recently, and it wasn't wet, so that was good. So, but we had to check, so I had to get up in the roof and check. So here we go, guys. Let's get up in the roof. This will be interesting for you, probably. So look at the big beams. Pretty normal in old style Japanese houses. This is usually what you find. They're basically just tree trunks. They've just cut the branches off and they use it to build the frames, big serious wooden frames. And then you can see the tops of the walls here. So the walls are actually bamboo tied together in a frame and then packed with mud. That's how they make the walls. So the bamboo gives it structure and the mud's there for insulation. And it works well too. It works well. These old buildings, the insulation was really good. Helps keep them cool in winter and warm in winter and cool in summer, and good for sound insulation as well. Much better than a new Japanese house. New Japanese houses are all made with really lightweight materials and there's not much insulation at all. So these old ones were solid. Lots of big solid timber. Keeping in mind too that they had to be because they've also got a really heavy tile roof. So this structure has to be pretty strong. The modern roofs are a lot lighter, so the frames don't have to be as strong, but these old ones, the roofs are really heavy because the roofs are made, we showed you this once before actually, the roofs are made of mud and tile and really heavy. That's a bee hive. The nasty scary Japanese bee. And have a look at this one. That's as big as a basketball, that one. But no bees, so they've moved out for some reason. But at some stage there was a lot of bees in that roof. So yeah, no water leaking now. They must have fixed the tiles that caused the problem. So just this damage, this water damage that they hadn't repaired. So got the unskilled labour onto it. Sort of a simple, it's in the cupboard, so we didn't have to go to too much trouble to make it too fancy. It was just a matter of just tidying it up a bit because it's in the closet where you don't see it. Even if you open the closet you don't see it because it's up high, so just tidy it up a little bit. But more important was these doors, these old style doors. When they are good, they slide really nicely and they're quite a pleasure. But when they have problems, they don't slide and they're a nightmare. So first thing, these ones weren't sliding at all, they were really stuck. So first thing we did was clean the runners, these runners that they, or these grooves that they run in, made them clean and smooth, and then got some very fine sandpaper onto the tops and bottoms of the frames to make them slide a little bit better. The actual doors themselves with these nice pictures on them, they're actually paper. They're actually covered in paper and you can't clean it. So you imagine that paper's 45 years old. So it's sort of very delicate paper and very dry and you can't clean it. There's nothing you can do. If these are damaged and you want to do something about it, the only thing to do is to replace them, which is a bit of a big job and not really worth it. I mean, these rooms are going to just be used as guest rooms basically, so it's not really worth spending lots and lots of money replacing these pictures basically, aren't they? They're paper pictures on those doors, so not really worth replacing them. But yeah, they're delicate. They are a bit of an issue. If people make mistakes and damage them, they are a bit of an issue, so you have to be careful with those. So we're up to a before and after already, guys, because there wasn't much to do here. We cleaned the tatami. The tatami needed cleaning. It had been collecting dust for at least 10 years since somebody had even been in this room. So the tatami was filthy, so we had to vacuum it and then wash it with wet towels. So not too wet, but just moist towels by hand. And then we used a steamer to gently steam it to really get it clean. So cleaning tatami is difficult, but it's really important, of course, so we had to get it nice. So this is what it looks like now. Tatami's nice and clean. Smells a lot fresher. It smelled pretty dusty and musty and horrible in there. Now it's all sort of fresh and nice place to be. put a bed in there. We've got an older person coming to stay who can't sleep on the floor, so we've actually put a bed in there, and we've put it up on sort of blocks to spread the weight so it doesn't damage the tatami. So now it's got a bed and a TV and a DVD player. Those doors are sliding nicely, and we've put hanger racks in the cupboard so it can hang clothes up. Cleaned all the windows. That took a bit of doing. All those windows were really dirty and disgusting. Got rid of all the rubbish. Put a little refrigerator in that cupboard, and a jug for boiling water, and tea and coffee and milk and cups. Little desk was there. We left the desk there. It was there already, so we left it there, sort of useful for writing letters or all that sort of thing, I guess. So yeah, a bit of an improvement on what it was. A couple of 100 kilos of stuff was taken out of there. Most of it got thrown away, but quite an improvement on what it was anyway. So that was a sort of a simple makeover, that one, wasn't it? Nothing terribly structural to that one. That was one of the simpler ones, thank goodness. So now we've got to do the outside now. More videos coming soon.